How goes it all? Welcome back to LarrysAnythingGoes. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. This is my first time doing this kind of rant. Kind of like I call it the podcast filled rant in a sense. But basically what's going on, you have what's happening nowadays is one thing that's true. A lot of people are going to start going back to work. No matter how you feel about the political nonsense, I'm not on either side, so I can care less what your opinion is. I'm about business. I always say I don't do drama, I do business. So that's my mindset. Okay. Anyways. But the real conversation is, and I've seen a bunch of people not only post this on various social media platforms, but I've definitely seen a lot of people just in general tell me via text message, via email, via telephone that they don't want to go back to work. And it's understandable. I was talking to my buddy Adrian yesterday about this. A lot of people are making a lot more money outside of work, either doing two things. They've been collecting unemployment, which has been the highest that it's ever been. People have been getting up to $8,000, $9,000 to $1,000 a week, and most Americans don't make that much money, every week. So let's just be realistic about that. Most jobs, whether if you're living in the quote-unquote expensive states or the cheap states, most people do not make that kind of money every month. They're up to $4,000 to $5,000 a month. That's just not realistic in the United States. Okay. So a lot of people just like, hey, I don't want to go back to work. But that's the financial aspect of it. But then you have the freedom aspect of it, because if somebody's able to pay their bills, they're getting unemployment from the states, from the federal government, and they don't have to deal with the minute nonsense of having to get up super duper early, go to a place that 9 times out of 10 they don't really want to be in. That says a lot. Okay, and that's just realistic. And we know in the United States people have to work. I mean, no system can work if people don't have jobs. That's just what it is. Not everybody can own a business. We know that. This is realistic, and that's fine. I have a job, so I'm not knocking anybody who does have a job. But I'm just saying that the unfortunate aspect of it is too many people have bought into the premise that they can only have a job. That's the only way that they can make money, and that's the only way that they can prosper. And if they don't worry about getting educated outside of your job, because plenty of companies and government organizations, they offer various amounts of training, great incentive programs for you to go back to school, and the go back to school program, stock buying programs, life insurance programs. So like I said, they actually offer a lot of great things. The problem is majority of the education that one gets is only in their field, and it's not in the field of financial education. And I will admit some companies and government organizations are doing actually a good job of giving you that education for retirement. However, I think more and more workers need to get that education about, how to make the right investments for retirement. But they need to get this kind of education when it comes to the right investments for replacing their income in case something like what you see going on with the unfortunate COVID-19 crisis happening now. And that's just the add-on to the caveat to this situation. Because when you look at this picture, what do you see? And leave it in the comments section. Whether you're watching this video on Facebook, you're watching it on Instagram, you're watching it on YouTube. Most if I don't go too long, hopefully you'll be able to be on Instagram. If you're on Twitter, what do you see? I see a frustrated person. I see a person who, they got the coffee next to them, they're at the desk, their eyes are probably burning because they've been looking at the screen for hours, and it's definitely time to get up and take a break. We've all been there, you know what I mean? We've all been there. There's nothing wrong with that. You're working hard, you're doing what you have to do. Nothing but love and respect in regards to that. But what this COVID-19 has done for people who have had to stay at home and who have been getting up their unemployment checks. I mean, I see a lot of people flourish, in spirit. And it's crazy. A guy I knew goes back to preschool. I'm not going to mention his name. He put on Facebook yesterday, man, I don't want to go back to work, man. I've been enjoying these last 2 months. He's like, this is paradise. And so then the thing is, what are you going to do if you really don't want to go back to work? What have you been doing? Have you been binging on Netflix and goofy videos and whatnot, and hanging out, doing what you're doing? Whether you've gone to the pool or the beach, or just taking a walk in the park or whatever, just drive around just to because it's not normal for people to just stay in the house. We all know this. So heck, I'm antsy. I'm ready to take a trip right now. I was talking about my buddy Adrian yesterday. I'm ready to take a trip right now. I'm ready to go. I feel like I'm somewhat stagnated and whatnot, but I'm still utilizing this free time to learn more, to not only be a better person from an educational standpoint, but be a better person in regards to selling more products to my business. What am I doing wrong? What can I do to improve? Self-improvement is for everybody. Self-gratification is for everybody. You know what I mean? So that's just how I look at it in regards to, this situation. If you're truly dreading going back to work, then why don't you try to do something to replace your job, and then you could do work that matters. Nobody's saying to not have a job, because being an entrepreneur on any level, whether it's a big business, small business, it's hard work, and it's something that you have to dedicate yourself to 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And even when you do get rest time, it really isn't, because a phone call can happen at any minute, an email, a text message. I mean, one thing Elon Musk knows for sure, that man works his butt off like he's not worth millions of dollars. Okay, and people like him. You know what I mean? They work their butts off. The Mark Cubans, the Russell Simmons. The list goes on and on. These people work hard. And even when they're on vacation, these people are working hard. So that's the thing that a lot of people forget about. The work is still there. But the thing is, and that's the beauty of what you have with all these podcasts nowadays, is that a lot of the thing that I always get from the people that I listen to on a regular basis, and even the books that I read on a regular basis when it comes to entrepreneurship and life as a whole, when you're passionate about what you do, you don't work a day in your life. When you have an opportunity to give back, you're not really working a day in your life. I mean, that's why, give it up to not only the people who have been on the front lines in the medical field, in the grocery stores, and any place else where you were deemed an essential employee, the military, definitely, law enforcement, you definitely not only deserve a round of applause, but you definitely deserve to have options, because you have a passion for what you do. And a lot of people will retire out of those fields and actually give back and to work in nonprofit organizations, or to just do some volunteer work, volunteer at the local churches, whatever have you. Do work that matters. We work to live, we don't live to work. But when you're doing work that matters, sometimes you do live to work. You have people that they love being in the military, they love being in law enforcement, they love working at a hospital. You have people that work for nonprofit organizations that deal with helping youth improve themselves. I mean, if I was to get into any, I was telling my buddy Adrian yesterday, if I was to get into any nonprofit work, it would definitely be on something on this large scale with the programs that the SBA, Small Business Administration, deals with in regards to training youth how to become entrepreneurs and helping businesses improve themselves and to be able to take advantage of the specific programs that are out there that the Small Business Administration and probably other various nonprofit organizations actually lend a hand up and not a handout to small businesses. Because that's what it's about: self-improvement, total getting education, and building a life that's not with the whole work-life balance thing. I don't knock that, but it's not for most people, because most people look like this gentleman, unfortunately, at their job. And even when you're doing work that matters, you're going to have stressful times. I know people that work in the medical industry, whether they love it or not, they're always going to be stressed. Law enforcement going to be stressed. Military going to be stressed. People that put their life on the line, there's going to be stressful moments. You know what I mean? Fire department, like I said, I could go on and on. There's always going to be those stressful moments, but, But these are jobs that people are passionate about most of the time, that they're in. Teachers, always got to give respect to the teachers. And if I'm leaving anybody out, definitely my apologies. But I will say that this is what it's really all about. Start the show, you know what I mean? And that's one thing that I don't think people really look at, because you could look. I'm from the DMV area, and it's one of the areas, if you don't know, Washington D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, the areas that are connected to Washington D.C. From whether it's from the Metro line or if it's from the Metro bus or Amylink bus or anything of that nature, there's a big connection between these areas. And one of the, it's an area where there's a plethora of jobs, great jobs. It's a plethora of high-paying six-figure jobs, to where the cost of living, at least not yet, hasn't gotten too outrageous. It's not on the California level, it's not on New York City level, but it's on the cusp of those levels, especially when Amazon gets here. It will be on those levels, And a lot of people reside here because of the job market. They don't reside here because they love the area. But a lot of people do reside here that, but not the majority. A lot of people reside here and they do love the area, but the majority don't really love the area. I see posts every day, people leaving the DMV because they're tired of the lifestyle. A lot of times they say it's the cost of living, but I say, I think the other half of it is the lifestyle, because my thing is, even if you were filthy, stinking rich, I always ask the question, would you live in the DMV? And that's a personal yes or no. Leave it in the comments section. Like I said, everybody's opinions are welcome here. This isn't about argument, man. This is about understanding. This isn't about who's right and wrong, because what's right for me might not be right for you, and vice versa. You know what I mean? So, because my thing is, you got to walk out of the neighborhood that you live in and say, I love living here. You got to look at the community and say, I love living here. Because when you love living someplace, you're going to want to be more engaged with that place. When you despise living in an area, your engagement is going to be at an all-time low, or maybe 5 or 10%. And that's one of the biggest problems in areas like the DMV. And it's nationwide. You could be in Atlanta, you could be in Houston, you could be in New York, you could be in Los Angeles, you could be in Miami. I've met many people that have moved to this area from various areas of the country, and they're like, I love the DMV, wouldn't want to live no place else, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like I said, the main thing that we take away from this rant of mine, because not only have I been thinking about this a lot in my head, but I've been talking, with various people about this. When you go back to work, are you passionate about where you work? Do you love the people you work around? Do you love the community that you live in? Do you want to only keep earning money from a W-2 standpoint and not a 1099 standpoint? Meaning, you're just going to make money from earned income from your job and not make money from selling products, from building businesses, looking at various other investment platforms. I always, though my Care Bar is international, it's another way for you to have a home-based business without, paying a monthly fee. You buy as much or little gold as possible. You refer people. You can make money off of the gold that they purchase and their referrals. It's referral marketing, but it's my kind of referral marketing because there's no monthly fee. You get paid with your money on your MasterCard. You order your pieces of gold. It's digital, or you could print them off yourself, or you could have them actually delivered to you. But the real purpose of this rant is not for me to, I always got to highlight the Care Bars. That's what I'm a businessman. Or to highlight my online store, which, you support the local entrepreneur, purchase various products and whatnot. We got what you need. But it's bigger than that. It's definitely bigger than that. So are you looking forward to going back to the way things were before COVID-19? Do you want to sit in traffic, pay toll fees, worry about maintenance on your vehicle, work at a job where you and your boss don't get along, your coworkers, you don't get along, and you don't look forward to the day, and you're always planning your next vacation, which is costing you a lot of money, and you can afford it and you can pay off the debts and all that good stuff, but you could be putting that same money and energy into creating a life that you don't always have to vacation from. So Southwest Airlines, Alaska Airlines, and Airbnb and car rental companies don't continuously keep getting your money because this is your version of escapism. And there's nothing wrong. I love going on vacation. I'm a big fan of that. But does it have to? Are you doing it for fun that you could be having in your backyard? That's the question. And that's what it is. It's like it doesn't matter what you think. It just matters what matters to you. It doesn't matter what I think. It matters what matters is what makes you happiness. Your version of happiness. I know what mine is. What's yours? Mine's not just being successful with businesses and whatnot and moving to the West Coast, but mine is looking outside and like, oh, I love this community. Oh, the people I engage with on a regular basis, we discuss business and we are implementing it because I heard one thing today and it's very true. It says all the knowledge in the world is great to obtain, but if you do not, of course my phone's going off now, but if you do not, I repeat, do not implement, then you are sincerely wasting your time. It's like getting a degree or a certification and never utilizing that degree or certification. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. Okay, it's always phones goes off. It's like if an investor's asking about me adding them to my buyers list. Yeah, no problem at all. But that's just what it boils down to. That's my personal opinion on that one. What's yours? Leave it in the comments section. When things quote unquote get back to normal, because I know we're all antsy and ready to get out and do things, and I know people are doing that. I would just ask common sense and caution, because you can still catch the virus. So I don't want anybody to get sick. I'll leave it at that. We're all antsy. We're all tired of being in the house. I feel you. Trust me. But you got to be safe. Better safe than sorry. But that's what it boils down to at the end of the day. Do you want? Because the rat race, especially in the DMV, was sucking people dry. And for the most part, I noticed that the people that have been sitting at home, they got a little different spirit to them now, that they're not having to get up an hour earlier or 2 hours earlier so they can get to work every day. They're able to spend more time with their kids and their significant others. Because you can't get all the money in the world. It's never going to give you your time back. And that's what we need to get our time back. That's one thing. One thing I've noticed for myself, I've gotten a lot more perspective. I got more time to think, and I got more time to try to implement. Hard to implement, obviously, because of things being shut down. But when things open back up, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to roll. Whether if I have to have a face mask on or not, I'm ready to make things happen. And I hope you are too. And I hope it's outside of the comfort zone. And if you love your job, then great. All I always say is have options. Because I said this in the government shutdown happened. You got to have options. I say this when the next housing market collapse comes, because you just never know. The next economic downturn, you never know. It doesn't matter who's in office. We live in a boom and bust economy, and everybody knows that. So keep that political crap out. It will happen. That's why they say have a significant amount of savings, for a couple of months, because you never know what'll happen. Like your job, love your family, love your life. Like your job, love your assets. Your family and your life comes before your assets, and then the assets come, then the job comes. Does that mean be mediocre and not do your job in an incorrect manner? Absolutely not. But it definitely means have options. Options are beautiful. I always say the reason why people love going to Walmart and Target, whether it's for the convenience or for the prices, the beautiful thing is you got options. You can get your grocery shopping done, and you can get your personal products, and you can get various other products that you need. And I think people need to have that same mindset when it comes to how they make their money. Now, don't try to do it all at once. Rome wasn't built in a day. However, you definitely want to have more options. And Care Bar International falls in that category. Check it out. Sign up as an affiliate. If you want to know more information, there's me and there's Google. And they're always here to help. And always ready to put you in the right direction. And if not, it's all good. You know what I mean? But do something. That's my mindset. You gotta do something. You gotta have the right mindset, and implement. That's all it takes. All right. And always remember, you can't get fired if you own the company. It's time for everyone to have a little ownership in something. Even if you do have a job, have a little ownership in something. Whether it's even being a 5% partner in something, have a little ownership in something, have some of a side hustle, have something, because the storm will always come. Are you ready? All right. Take care. Please give it a thumbs up for the video, and always take care of yourself, your family, and appreciate what you have, and appreciate what you're gonna have, and appreciate where you are, and appreciate where you're gonna be, because that's the beauty of life when you appreciate stuff. Hopefully you guys have a good day. Check out the online store. Got various products for everything, and always working to improve myself. So improvement on yourself is where it's all about. What it's all about. All right. Take care.